Okay guys, today's the day to flip the Mercury. I think this thing should clean up pretty good. We're going to go ahead and get everything out of the way here, roll it out to the front and see if we can pressure wash this thing and start cleaning it up. Guys, so I went a little overboard on the spray paint. Kind of went and touched everything up on this motor for the most part. Went a little bit overboard. I do that often. It's not without flaws, but it's a decent looking engine at this point. And it is a decent engine, so it's worth cleaning up. And we'll get some brand new spark plugs in here and button this thing up. We're going to go through the carburetors now, so we can make this thing run, and later today we'll try to run this, and then when I trim it up I can touch up the trim motor and stuff like that while it's trimmed up. Alright guys, so we get the engine back in. I think these are the tools we're going to need to go through the carburetors, and came out pretty good. Now we're going to clean the carburetor, see if we can make this thing run. This front air silencer box held on by 5/16 bolts. Alright, so next pull off these carburetors, and this is a lot easier to do with these cowlings off than with them on, is to pull these 6 1/2-inch bolts. There's 4 nuts on studs and 2 bolts in the bottom side. You're also going to have to pull off these 5/16 bolts up here and move your oil tank out of the way. Now, rather than removing the whole oil tank from the engine, I usually set them to the side and use some zip ties and kind of hold them in place. I don't know if I can get it out of here or not yet, but and there's a bracket right here. There's 2 5/16 normally holding this down. This one only had 1. I may have to loosen this front air silencer, but I think I can get it out of there. There's a 1/2-inch bolt down here that holds the oil tank. We're going to need some zip ties and a wrench to break that one free. As soon as I pull this bolt, this oil tank's going to want to kind of roll over, and I don't want oil going everywhere. So I'm going to have to find a place for this oil tank that's going to hold up and not fall over. Might actually go ahead and put this bolt back in for now. This might be the best bet. So what I'm going to do is keep this 1/2-inch bolt in for now. And when I pull this front air box, it's going to want to roll forward, but then we can zip tie it back here and brace it on this 1/2-inch bolt. So probably a good idea to leave the 1/2-inch bolt in the bottom, because otherwise you're going to disconnect in this thing. Alright, let's just grab a, let's say we're going to pull it here. Find something nice you can brace this on, and you might have to build a couple zip ties to make a long one. There we go. Alright, so that holds my oil tank out of the way. Seems all these things are a little bit tighter than my little impact gun, so I'm gonna loosen everything first, and then I'll grab my gun and run them fast. Alright, let's remove our air silencer. Nice. Wipe this down. Okay, so on our carburetors, we've got your oil linkage right here. This linkage here is your oil linkage. I'm going to get some side cutters or some needle nose and just get up underneath it lightly and pop it off. I'm going to pull this rod off so during this assembly it doesn't end up getting broken. This engine still runs the oil injection, and it's a good functioning system. Same deal for our throttle linkages. Lightly, just kind of pop it off. Same with the bottom. In the middle. Okay, let's take our linkage here, and I'm breaking these linkages. Alright, so all of our fuel lines are attached from carburetor to carburetor. Up here is our primer solenoid hose, and I'm going to take that off of the primer solenoid itself. Here we have a fuel filter that comes from the fuel pump to feed the carburetors, and it trickles down to fill all the carburetors up. So what I like to do is disconnect it from here and then take this whole assembly with me. I'll cut our zip ties. Okay, that's off. Now we should be able to bring this whole carburation assembly with us. Take this over to the bench. While we're here, we'll take a quick glance at our reed valves. Make sure there's no missing pedals, no broken reeds. They'll create a rough idle. They'll spit fuel back out the front of the carburetors, and you got to make sure that they're all in place, which these ones look very nice. We'll start with our top carburetor. We'll see what she looks like inside. Man, you can smell that old fuel. Definitely rancid. Alright. Don't look real dirty, just a lot of old gas. Ooh, old gas. Man, that's nasty. Alright, let's get our needle and our seat off of here. I think more than anything, these carburetors just have some old fuel in them. And maybe not very long, because they don't look like they've done any damage. Just stinks. The air mixture's out, our bowl's off. That's about all that's on this one. There's a jet down in there, and that one's a very easy jet to find out whether it's clean or not. You can blow air right through it specifically and get it cleared out. So let's soak this one for a few minutes. Okay, so all three of these carburetors are clean now and done. All my fuel lines are back on, everything's zip tied. We can put this whole thing back on in one assembly. Yeah, I don't like that. Maybe I can move this battery. It's not quite getting rained on. Let's start it up, see what happens. Push the choke in. You'll hear a click. Crank it. Alright, now crank it without choking it. Neutral, and there's forward. All right. Running. Trim is working. Cover back on. That's about all you can do with it, man. It's an older motor that's now running very nicely, and it looks very good as well. Okay guys, today's the day to flip the Mercury.